After a woman suffered a brutal sexual assault at the hands of a man, she shockingly began sending him dozens of affectionate love letters. Beyond that, she visited him in prison every single week without fail. In the end, she even submitted a sincere letter of forgiveness that helped him secure early parole. No one around her could understand her bizarre behavior, yet she smiled and invited the man straight into her own home. The story dates back 1 month prior. Anna, the female lead, worked as a gentle, well-liked nurse at the local town hospital. Thanks to her outstanding job performance, she was on track to be promoted to a clinical nurse, which would double her salary. She even planned to sell her old family house to purchase a larger property. Everything in her life was moving toward a bright future. However, she suffered from severe misophobia, which left her single approaching her 30th birthday. Hoping to help her settle down, a coworker set her up on a blind date, assuring her confidently that the man was a neat, sophisticated gentleman. The words clean and elegant struck a chord with Anna, and she decided to host their first meeting at her house. The day of the blind date arrived. Anna carefully painted her fingernails at home, preparing for the upcoming rendezvous. Just then, a knock echoed at the front door. Assuming it was her date, she opened the door with quiet anticipation, but the man standing outside was nothing like the refined gentleman she had been told about. He had unkempt facial hair, greasy matted hair, and his gaze lingered over her in an unapologetically judgmental way. The flicker of excitement Anna had felt instantly vanished, doused completely by disappointment. Though she felt uneasy and confused deep down, she forced a polite smile and let the man inside out of basic courtesy. Once they entered the house, Anna worried her casual loungewear looked unprofessional for their meeting. She asked him to wait a moment while she stepped into her bedroom to change into a formal dress. What she did not expect was that the stranger would not remain quietly in the living room during her absence. Instead, he sneaked around her home, rummaging through her belongings, even creeping up to her bedroom doorway. When Anna emerged fully changed, the man stared her body up and down casually and tossed out a lewd compliment without hesitation.
Did you say something?
Oh, I was just saying you look really nice.
His comment immediately set off alarm bells in Anna's mind. She realized this stranger could not possibly be the blind date her coworker had arranged. To test her suspicion, she called out the real date's name, but the man did not react at all. Anna's heart sank, and she told him firmly to leave her property at once. At first, the man wore a mocking grin and trudged slowly toward the door, and Anna thought the strange encounter was finally over. Yet what happened next dragged her into unending agony. Rather than leaving, he locked the front door tight. Anna shouted warnings, threatening to dial the police if he did not depart immediately. However, the man had lost all rational control to his impulses. He grabbed Anna's hair roughly, overpowering her no matter how fiercely she fought back. Once the violent attack ended, the crazed fire in his eyes faded, and he understood he had committed an unforgivable crime. He fled the residence in a blind panic. Shortly after he ran off, a man holding a bouquet of flowers arrived. This was Anna's actual blind date. He knocked repeatedly and received no response, so he pushed the door open and stepped inside. The horrific scene he discovered haunted him for the rest of his life. Shaken to his core, he called the police right away. When Anna regained consciousness, she lay in a hospital bed covered in injuries. Bruises and scratch marks marred her fair skin, and dark imprints circled her neck left by her attacker. Doctors ran repeated examinations, while police conducted rounds of evidence collection. Every step compounded her fresh trauma. Fortunately, officers used the clues Anna provided and forensic evidence from the crime scene to arrest her assailant, a man named Paul, in short order. Shockingly, he received a sentence of only 3 years behind bars. To Anna, this lenient punishment felt utterly insignificant next to the harm she endured. From that day forward, Anna's world crumbled entirely. She developed severe post-traumatic stress disorder, tormented by endless nightmares every night. Her father watched his daughter suffering with a heavy heart, helpless to ease her pain, and stayed by her side silently each day. Worse still, her trauma began to destroy her career. Anna noticed her hands, which once handled medical equipment steadily, started trembling uncontrollably. At first, she believed it was just temporary muscle tension, yet no amount of relaxation techniques could stop the shakes. For someone poised to become a clinical nurse, steady hands were non-negotiable. This tremor destroyed her professional prospects entirely. Without stable hands, she could no longer administer precise injections, marking the end of her nursing career. She tried desperately to hide her condition, but secrets cannot stay hidden forever. Her supervisor spotted her abnormal shaking soon after and revoked her promotion without hesitation. As her career collapsed, her personal life also fell apart. Desperate to escape the painful memories tied to her home, she listed the house for sale to start fresh elsewhere. Her hopes were dashed. However, once the real estate agent disclosed the violent crime that had occurred there, all prospective buyers canceled their offers. The house seemed cursed. No one was willing to purchase it, even with a drastically reduced price. Her clinical promotion revoked. Her daily life shattered. Her home unsellable. Wave after wave of misfortune pushed Anna into the darkest period of her life. To help her recover her motor control, her colleagues gifted her a surgical practice mannequin used by medical staff. hoping repeated training would steady her hands again. Tasks that had once felt effortless now proved nearly impossible to complete. She confined herself indoors practicing day after day, yet every attempt ended in failure. She could not guide the needle into the simulated blood vessels accurately. After yet another botched practice session, Anna lost complete control of her emotions. She smashed the mannequin to pieces and collapsed onto the floor, remaining motionless in darkness and despair through the entire night. When morning came, her gaze fell on the instruction manual beside the broken model, and a sudden thought struck her. A ruthless, carefully planned scheme took shape in her mind. Anna stood, grabbed paper and a pen, and began writing letters to Paul, who was serving his sentence in prison. She detailed her current state in each note and begged prison officials to grant her visitation rights with him. From the moment she began writing, Anna felt a massive weight lift off her shoulders. She regained clarity of mind, and a long-absent smile crossed her face. Paul, however, was consumed by guilt and refused all her requests to meet. Every letter Anna sent was returned unopened, stamped with a notification that the inmate declined delivery. Anna refused to give up. She repackaged each letter and mailed them again and again. During this stretch of time, she renovated her damaged house, and made an unexpected discovery. Whenever she stopped avoiding thoughts of Paul and chose to confront everything tied to him head-on, her hand tremors vanished completely. This revelation strengthened her resolve to follow through with her plan. After weeks of persistent letter writing, Paul finally sent a reply containing only one short line: "You win." He agreed to let Anna visit him in prison. Their first meeting took place separated by thick reinforced glass, and both sat stiff and awkward. Paul's eyes held wariness and overwhelming guilt. He anticipated Anna would come to yell accusations and unleash her rage. Contrary to his expectations, Anna's face carried no anger, and she never mentioned the violent incident that had destroyed her life. Instead, she spoke to him softly like an old friend,
How's the food in here?
asking gentle questions about his daily life. This unexpected kindness left Paul stunned, all the apologies and confessions he had prepared trapped in his throat. Anna's calm, gentle demeanor left him completely disoriented. From that point onward, Anna's mental state improved dramatically, and she smiled far more often than before. She visited Paul faithfully every week, dressing up in polished, alluring outfits each time to stir his emotions. She kept a constant warm smile, never referencing their traumatic past, instead chatting only about childhood memories and personal dreams. Gradually, Paul let down all his guard, and their conversations flowed naturally as if no horrific divide existed between them. Like a pair of smitten lovers, Paul grew delusional, convincing himself his own masculine charm had made Anna fall deeply for him despite what he had done to her. He had no idea he had wandered straight into an intricately woven trap disguised by kindness. On one occasion, Paul got into a fight with another inmate and sustained facial injuries, so he could not meet Anna during their scheduled visitation. The following week, he rushed to tell her about the abuse he endured behind bars. Anna voiced outward concern over his wounds, yet inwardly she felt quiet satisfaction as he showed her his injuries. Eager to reunite with the woman he believed loved him, Paul maintained flawless behavior in prison and never instigated trouble. Coupled with the heartfelt forgiveness letter Anna submitted to the parole board, his exemplary conduct earned him an early release. When Anna visited to share the news, a fleeting stiff expression crossed her face. Paul noticed her hesitation and quickly reassured her he had reformed fully. He promised he would never force her into anything after release, and even offered to relocate to another city if she wanted nothing to do with him. Anna did not give a direct answer, leaving the choice to him. Every step had unfolded exactly as she had planned. Paul was released soon after. His first act upon leaving prison was sending an anonymous bouquet of flowers to Anna at the hospital where she worked, then calling to say he could not wait to see her. Anna gently turned him down over the phone, claiming she was not emotionally ready yet, though she knew Paul would not back down easily. Sure enough, he appeared on her doorstep that same afternoon. Anna put on a perfectly convincing display of shock at his sudden arrival. Paul immediately stepped backward to create distance, assuring her he meant no harm. Anna composed herself quickly, knowing her target had fully walked into her snare. After a moment of consideration, she told him parts of her home renovation remained unfinished and she needed an extra pair of hands to help. Paul still clung to his delusion that Anna harbored romantic feelings for him, so he threw himself into the renovation work without complaint, taking on all labor-intensive tasks and even purchasing building supplies out of his own pocket. While Paul was shopping for hardware materials, Anna's father spotted him instantly and recognized the man who had assaulted his daughter. He grabbed a metal pickaxe, ready to attack him from behind, but stopped short when he realized he would leave Anna with no family support if he landed in jail. He suppressed his rage and hurried home to warn Anna about Paul's release, urging her to cut all contact with the dangerous criminal. Anna brushed off his warning casually, even admitting she had invited Paul over to assist with renovations. Her father flew into a rage, and the two argued bitterly before parting ways in anger. Paul overheard their entire fight from outside the front door. That night, he called Anna, saying he regretted intruding and creating strife between her and her father. He even volunteered to disappear entirely from her life to stop being a source of conflict. This phone call marked the final piece of Anna's trap, the signal she had waited months to receive. She countered with deliberate provocation.
I think you're afraid of a 70-year-old man.
Erasing every last trace of doubt lingering in Paul's mind. Early the next morning, Paul returned to Anna's house filled with elation, convinced he had found a new purpose in life. Midway through his renovation work, Anna brought him a glass of freshly squeezed lemonade she had mixed herself. Blinded by his false belief in their romance, Paul trusted her completely and drank the beverage without hesitation. Moments later, a burning, searing pain tore through his stomach. He assumed exhaustion was the cause and intended to lie down inside to recover. Anna watched him writhe in agony, fully aware of what she had given him, and offered to let him rest indoors. The second Paul stumbled across the threshold, his vision blurred, and he collapsed unconscious onto the cold concrete floor. When Paul regained consciousness, he found himself locked in Anna's basement, his hands and feet tightly bound to a crude wooden bed frame, with Anna standing beside him. The gentle warmth that had defined her expression vanished entirely, replaced by icy, unyielding coldness. Paul finally understood he had fallen victim to an elaborate, long-running scheme from the very start. He screamed insults, calling Anna a deranged monster far crueler than he had ever been. Anna laughed coldly in response, telling him she had never forgotten the humiliation and agony he inflicted on her. Her weekly prison visits, her constant smiles, her assistance securing his parole, even the bitter fight with her father, every single action existed solely to bring her to this moment of reckoning. Desperate, Paul tried appealing to her empathy, reminding her of her career as a nurse who had saved countless lives, insisting he had genuinely repented, and begging her to end what he called her vengeful game. Anna ignored his pleas and slowly injected an unknown substance into his bloodstream, sending him back into unconsciousness. When he woke once more from darkness, Anna knelt beside him holding a glass of water, feeding him gently as if tending to a loved one. She slipped her hand under the bedsheets and told him to grasp her palm for comfort. Overwhelmed by crippling pain and terror, Paul clutched the offered limb tightly, clinging to it as his only lifeline. Anna suddenly let out an eerie,
Stop it! Stop it! William, let go! Let go! Let go!
hollow laugh and pulled back the blanket. Paul screamed in horror when he realized he was gripping not Anna's hand, but his own severed left hand. This was not the worst of his torment. When Anna pulled the covers fully away from his lower body, Paul let out ear-splitting cries of agony. While he had lain unconscious, Anna had amputated his left hand and permanently robbed him of his masculine function. This twisted cycle of retribution was only just beginning. In the days that followed, Anna kept him alive while continuing her endless, unrelenting revenge. That wraps up today's film No Response to Letters. This is Chan Jiang Movie, and I will see you all in the next video.